What's up, everybody? Man, been a busy week. Busy week. This week has been nuts. We are at, let's actually check right now. We are at almost 650 members on the channel. Of course, you can become a member if you just click the join button on my homepage of my YouTube. And you guys have been very supportive. I got a bunch of new emotes that I'm going to give to you guys. Of course, for those that want to see the old streams, all the old streams, they are available for my Supermax. I believe that's a $199. One, if you want access to all of them, you can have access to every single stream that I've ever done, because that's where they go after the stream is done with and I'm no longer live. But again, thank you for the support. We've talked about it on the channel. We've had a series of debates. If you follow me on social media, I've really been hammering this point home. And this idea, and unfortunately a lot of libertarians have adopted this idea that protesters that are going on definitely in these uber liberal cities like the Seattles and the Portlands of the world, people are acting as if those are movements of people. Even the majority of them, I don't think that's, I think it's safe to say that we don't have to accept that either. But people just want to act like these are people that are generally going to want to do the right thing and work towards a more freer society because, hey, they're protesting the fact that police brutality and all of these things that exist, they want resolutions for. But obviously anybody that's either been to these types of protests, you look at the list of demands that they have, you know that it's a lot more than that. And I'm not really one to just pretend like it's anything other than that. And I don't get that. I know people want to conjure up situations that aren't really there. They would like to see the world for what they want it to be instead of what it actually is. I have no desire to do that. I'm not interested in doing that. I'm just giving you what I'm seeing. And these people don't seem to value liberty. It's one thing to be in opposition to, let's say, police brutality, for an example. Your solution can absolutely be worse, and you can absolutely understand why that's more so. Like, this is what I sort of break down a lot, is that it's one thing to see something as a problem. It's another to understand why it's a problem. Those are two different things. This is what separates a lot of, say, libertarians like myself from other groups that may find issue with something. And this is why I always say being anti-government is not enough, because libertarianism alone is just not simply anti-government. It's anti-government because of the principles that it is that we adopt. So if people don't get that, then they're going to make a fatal critical error when it comes to the solutions that they propose. And this is why generally solutions don't deal with any sort of, let's say, decentralization. It's all, okay, defund the police, prime example. We're going to continue to rob the individuals that are within this geographical area. We're going to still take their money. Don't get me wrong. We're going to take the money. But, hey, it's better. It's like, no. They want to take the money and reroute it. It was a fraud. It was always a fraud. These guys don't actually value liberty. It's not on their priority list. What they see when it comes to something like this is that it gets in the way of what they want to do. And this is why I say allying. I've said that I don't know how many times. This is why. But it's true. This is why. I'm saying that allying yourself with these types is a strategic error, because you'll be the first one on the wall. All you do is push what they push. They already have their established movements. They already have their established demands. We don't have to pretend otherwise. We don't. We just simply don't. To act like every single individual that goes to these protesters, I don't want to say that you think that, but this is what you have to understand. Either the movements that house these protests, host these protests, the individuals, there's not enough of them. They're not organized enough to eliminate those people that are bad actors, because they certainly attract them at minimum. They're not enough, or they just straight up authorize that that's what they do. So when it comes to stabbing black people or more so destroying property, which happens more often than anything else of other people, clearly they aren't enough. They aren't doing. I won't say they aren't doing enough, but they either are not powerful enough, they're not organized enough, or it's just something that they just clearly operate. Because when you see the other amounts of rallies and protests that exist, those guys generally have absolutely no problem not, like having more so other people get hit in the crossfire, be it their property damage or something like that. But these guys, and it continues, not a one-off, right? It's happening every night. Every single night these guys do this. There's an error there. And that should tell you what kind of people that we are dealing with here. In Portland, and I'll be doing another video on this, in Portland, there are people that I know. One of my colleagues over there at Blaze TV, for example, is actually on the ground. So I'm seeing the footage, right? I can converse with him as far as what he's seeing, but I'm seeing the footage, right? I'm not oblivious to this. And I'm not gonna say that, oh, well, that person has a sign that says Black Lives Matter, so they want liberty. Like, come on, bro, that's naive, strategically naive. But I'm gonna show you something right here, and this is gonna highlight how these individuals think that they are owed. You're supposed to work around all of their demands on what it is that they want to do, no matter how much it impedes on your individual rights, because liberty is not on the table. Check this out. Woman talks about what happened in Georgetown, and this is what she's saying is that they led a siren noise pollution protest where they blocked off streets in Georgetown. The police presence was heavy. As we blocked off streets, we demanded that people turn around. So let me get this straight. You've gone and you have, as the protester, right, blocked off the street, impeding on what I'd argue that, I don't care, when you box somebody off like that and you don't allow them to move or something like that, you get into kidnapping territory. Just straight up. Doesn't seem that way because you got one person is in the car, one person is not. This is effectively what you're doing. But you got to send I want to go this way. I need to go this way. Oh, you go the other way. Like, what authority do you have to sit up here and tell me this? This is a minor inconvenience for this affluent white neighborhood. I don't know if that's why they were there, because they were white people. And then they say, we blocked streets. Certain drivers got annoyed and attempted to maneuver their way around us. This particular white woman tried to cut through a gas station. So it's like, all right, I can't go where you go, where you're at. You've made it abundantly clear that you're going to block that out. So let me try to go through this gas station over here to get where I need to go. And then they go over to the gas station and block them off there. Like, what do these people think what are they doing? And me and a couple of protesters stood in front of her car and demanded she turn around. Like, okay, so she goes the other way. You demand that she turn. Who are you to do that to anybody? And they think it's perfectly fine. Instead, she steps on the gas. Like, you on top of people's property, you on top of people's car, impeding on their ability to get to where they need to go. What are you doing? In this video, she had already attempted to run us over multiple times, and I had moved in front of the car, and the side was banging on their window, screaming. Like, these guys think that they're supposed to be able to do whatever it is they want. And then said finally cops come, but instead of arresting this woman or asking for their ID registration, they turned towards us and began pushing us. We are begging them to arrest this woman. We just tried to run over protesters repeated. Like, these people really believe that the woman is in the wrong because she wanted to go this way and you blocked her off. They think that she's the one in the wrong. So screw what the protests are doing. Just after 40 minutes, police finally asked for her ID, and as she and she claims she is too scared to give it to them. Protesters might take it. In the meantime, myself and other witnesses give our information to the officers. At this time for the protest, the violent white woman, the MPD let her drive home, shoving and grabbing protesters who tried to stop her. Police treated us like threats when she clearly was dead. Like, these people are oblivious, bro. They are completely oblivious. Completely oblivious. They are completely oblivious. Just, they have absolutely no idea what they're doing. Like, look, well, we're blocking these people off. They think they have the absolute right to do that. They don't. And I'm sick of people doing things to other individuals asking for the law boys to come to their aid, and then they like, well, it's just a minor inconvenience. It goes right back to the mask thing. It's just a mask. Why don't you just do this? Why don't you just go another way and take 10 minutes that way, and then you can get to where? No. I'm sick of pretending like look, man, these a lot of these protest groups they don't care about liberty. They don't. They don't. They simply don't. Just because you're protesting, and I look at, okay, America has had this history of utilizing protests to become like socially influential. So people think like that's the only way to do it, or more so that because they do it, they are trying to do the right thing or do good things. And that's just such horse crap. I personally think it's stupid. Protesting, like going to streets like that, I think is obviously dumb. I don't find anything conducive just marching. I think all that stuff, I've always thought that stuff was stupid. It's just like, as far as, when I say stupid, let me be clear. Maybe if you want to just meet some other people, like-minded people, maybe it's not stupid. But I think it's stupid in the sense of working towards a freer society, or like getting the government out the way. Like, that ain't doing nothing, man. Just sitting there marching all day long ain't doing nothing for nobody. So I personally think it's stupid. But regardless of what I feel about it, if that's what you want to do and that's your little thing that you want to do, and you're doing that somehow on your, private property, place where you're authorized to be, with the property owner, that's fine. Like, as stupid as I might think, that's fine. But what that doesn't consist of is destroying people's property. It doesn't consist of blocking traffic in the road and then being clutching the pearls because someone dared to almost run your silly behind over as you beating on their car. Like, what these people get off, like they lucky, right? Because in some places, and like definitely in the South, you beating on someone's car as they're trying to go somewhere, that's considered a credible threat. And we got guns in our cars. And people get shot. Y'all got to stop this. The people that are participating in this bad behavior have to stop it. Just cut it out. It's fine. Just cut it out. And the folks who act like this isn't a thing, turn a blind eye. Oh, they're just protesting. There's just a couple of, no, it's more than a couple of bad seeds. It's a lot of them, bros. You'd be surprised. Now, will mainstream media cover those? Right. It's only until someone gets like severely injured where they'll cover it. I mean, generally they'll mask. I saw CNN talk about, for example, the guy getting stabbed, and then they talk about like federal tear gas and stuff in the same article. They couldn't just do it really talking about the person that got stabbed. And we'll be talking about that in another video. But these people are weird. Simple as that. These people are weird.